Hello. I'm back this time to talk about Oberon rework. I'm going to go a little bit out of order. Basically, talk its abilities not in the order that they're listed, but in the order that you kind of use them in mission. So hopefully that'll make some sense. So let's start with his third ability, Renewal. So Renewal is a heal over time. It now applies on affinity range instead of a fixed range. The ability cost is now fixed. It doesn't change. Before it increased for every ally that got it. So if you had any party members with summons and stuff like that, it could get extremely expensive for you to sustain the ability. So you no longer have that problem. You also don't need to recast if they lose it. Before you had to, if they were nullified or if they fell into a hole, you had to be recasting the ability. Now you don't need to do that, so that's pretty good. It also increases armor for you and your allies. So you can see in that upper right, I have a 638. That is how much armor Renewal is giving me. And for allies, it gives twice as much. So you can actually protect them quite a bit with that. Also, the heal is doubled when used on Hallowground. So let's put a Hallowground here. So right now the heal is even doubled right now. You can see I cast it this way. What is this? Hallowed ground is now a circle. No longer a cone. You no longer need to mod extreme ranges to cover the area. It is now always radial, so much easier to maintain. We also improved quite a bit how it works on separate distances like that. So you can see it actually went up here to protect, and it's no longer... It used to have a lot of issues when you try to use it in different elevations. So now it actually adapts quite well to things like this. Additionally to that, it now does radiation much more reliably. Before it was like a chance to deal radiation once per second. Now it's guaranteed radiation twice per second. So you can see enemies are getting to 10 stacks of radiation pretty quickly, which synergizes really well with something like Arcane Fallout. You can see the orbs are there. I should probably use this thing before my yapping kills us all. We also upgraded how Hallowground interacts with nullifiers. So the way it used to work is as soon as a nullifier touched any part of the Hallowground, it would basically dispel it, which was pretty annoying because Hallowground could be quite big. So now it will only prevent the effects of Hallowground on allies that are inside the bubble or on enemies that are inside the bubble. It will no longer dispel the ground. We also made that change for Oraxia, and we also made a few other changes to three other interactions with nullifiers. Let me talk about his passive. So you see those shields that I have around me? Those are his new passive. Whenever Oberon picks up a health orb, he will get one protection like that and will give it to his allies as well. And that protection, what it does is when you take a hit, you take no damage. So you can see that absorbed the entire damage for the entire damage attack. So basically you can use that to be like fully protected as long as you're getting orbs, which is pretty easy to do when you have Fallout, or later we'll talk about some other way to get that. Oberon's one, there's an Eximus, who's a good target to use it on. So you see when I cast it, it immediately removed all of his overguard in one shot, and it does percentage damage and then does a secondary hit around them for that percentage of damage to enemies around it. So you want to use it on units that have a lot of health so that the damage then they deal around them is higher. See him? There you go. So the entire overguard is gone, and you see it killed a bunch of enemies around it because he has quite a bit of health. So his fourth ability now has line of sight, so you have to be careful where you use it. Now when you use it, it will always strip armor, which I guess I didn't choose the best place to showcase that because they don't have armor, but the armor strip no longer requires you to have them on the grass. It will work in any situation. It does way more damage now, something like more than triple, I think, and also scales based on how many stacks of radiation they have on them, so that deals even more damage. It also gives you armor for every enemy you hit, and it also scales with how many stacks of radiation you have. So in the top there, now it says 1288. If you remember earlier, it was like 600 and something. So it now gives you even more armor there, which obviously synergizes really well with then giving armor to your allies and protecting them of everything that's going around them. Also, this ability always used to give health orbs. We just picked some of those. But they used to be very hard to do because you had to get the exact kill with the fourth, which is tough to do because obviously, there's a whole bunch of other AoEs and stuff going. Now it marks enemies, so when you kill them, they still drop the orbs. You can see the orbs flying there, even though I didn't kill them with the ability. Just the fact that I used the ability on them marked them to basically get those, be able to drop those orbs, which obviously synergizes really well with his passive to give you the protective stacks that you see around me so that enemies cannot kill me. And that's about it. That's the whole kit. Hopefully you understood. Like, I'm sorry I gave it out of order, but I think hopefully that made more sense than if I tried to explain it in order. But who knows? You'll tell me if I should not do that ever again. For more details, because there's a lot of nitty-gritty details that I couldn't go over in this video, you can find those in the dev blog, and it'll go into way more detail than I did here. Hopefully you're excited to try it out. I'll see you soon. Adios, adios, adios. Take care, take care, take care. Bye-bye.